the best weapons in the finals. I've played this game since before closed beta, basically, during a test. I played it a bunch, so I understand what weapons are good and what are bad for all three classes. So I'm going to pick out 2 weapons for each class that I feel like are arguably the best, and I'm going to explain why and give some tips. So first up, let's start with the SA-1216, which is a shotgun for the heavy. Now this one's really interesting. It's got a 4 burst, so you shoot 4 times, and then you got like a little pump action, and then again, right? It's really powerful. It will just like absolutely wreck every single player, even other heavies. It's really good, obviously, in close quarters, but you can make it work if you pair it with the mesh shield, right? If somebody pushes you, okay, and they get close to you, you can just quickly put down their shield and then pop them like that. It's really effective. And basically all you need to do is pretty straightforward. It's probably the easiest weapon to use in the game. If you're going to pick someone, right, you have cover. You pick out 1, 2, 3, 4, go behind cover. But look at this, right? We have 1 bullet left. I don't know where my gun's gone. That's kind of weird. We have 1 bullet left in our shotgun. So if I shoot now, I have to pump again. So that's another tip you have to watch out for here with this one. If you go 1, 2, 3, run away, and then get ready to shoot, you're going to have to pump. So when you're getting behind cover, if you haven't used all 4 pumps, I don't know where my gun's gone, it's really weird. Then make sure you either pump 1 more shot to do it, or if you got enough time, reload. The reload isn't super slow. And yeah, that's basically the meta of the shotgun. Just play indoors, hold angles, pump them, make sure your 4 shots are done. And then if they push you like this, you just get close, and then bam, 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 bam. And then you can just put it back up again, right, once your 4 pumps are down. So pretty effective, really powerful, really strong against all classes. Now the other weapon we're going to choose for the heavy before we go to the other 2 classes is the Lewis gun. Now I'm going to talk about the Lewis gun and the MGL. What is going on with this, dude? Okay. So the Lewis gun only has 47 rounds, whereas the M60 has 70. So you may wonder, why not choose the M60 over the Lewis gun? Well, the damage profiles are actually pretty similar, but take a look at how this gun feels to use. Look at that horrible recoil, okay? That's not me really pulling down or anything. And then let's take a look at the Lewis gun in comparison. It's just basically straight up, right? You do have that curve there, but with the M60, it's straight away like this. This goes up first, so it's really easy just to beam players long distance, and then just pull to the left once you kind of get that initial recoil. So let's wait for this guy to spawn, right? Pull down, and then pull to the left, right? So I'll show that again. That's just basically one of the tips. You pull down, and then to the left, and you have pretty good aim, right? Pretty straightforward. The Lewis gun has a very long reload. It's like 3.5 seconds. Same with the M60. So basically, you don't really want to reload unless you have to, right? So make sure you keep an eye on that. Like 30 bullets in this is still enough. Even like 15 bullets in this is going to give you enough stopping power. That's pretty much the only tip for this. It's pretty straightforward. Really easy gun to use. The reason why I choose this as the other best gun for the heavy is flamethrower is really niche. It's really close range. It's hard to make well. The grenade launcher can be really good as well, but you lack the distance, and you may as well just take the shotgun. The sledgehammer is really hard to make useful. It's kind of just a meme weapon in my opinion. And the Lewis gun just has the best handling for a long-range weapon, giving you a bit more versatility for the heavy. Now, what is the best between these two, right? Lewis gun and shotgun. I think it's hard to say because they both offer different playstyles. I'll hear some people argue that the shotgun is better than the Lewis gun because you can just hold up your shield and then you're safe. You don't have to worry about long distances. But once players start to use more glitch grenades, this is just going to get instantly knocked down with the glitch grenade, right? So that's going to ruin your whole plan. So I would definitely have this weapon and this weapon on reserve. Like, you just want these 2 weapons. It's that simple. They are the best. Arguably, you could take other ones if you want to have fun, I guess. But both of these are really easy to use weapons. Okay, now medium class. Let's talk about what we're doing with the medium class. I think it's a little bit more of a complicated story for medium besides maybe Riot Shield, which once again is a bit of a meme choice, really. But the AKM FCAR, the shotgun, sorry, the grenade launcher, and the shotgun, and the revolver all can be pretty good. You can destroy people with the grenade launcher. You can absolutely destroy people with a shotgun. And even the revolver can be really good in the right hand. It's really hard to, like, aim, in my opinion, which is why I'm really bad at it. But it can be good. It can be good. And unlike the heavy, where most of those choices are just so niche, it doesn't make sense to use them in most situations, you can get by with a shotgun, grenade launcher, and revolver. So don't get me wrong, they are very good. But I definitely think the best choice in the game is the AKM. The AKM has a large magazine for a assault rifle, so you got a lot of ammo to just shred through players, right? Really easy. The reload isn't too long. And what I really like about this choice is, take a look at this, right? Really easy to use long range or mid range. We'll talk about long range in a minute. And up close, it's really easy as well. The hip fire is great, right? So you have a very versatile weapon that's good up close, mid range, and even long range, right? The optics may not be the best, right? You got like, basically iron sights, but with some practice, you can make it work. The recoil for this gun is a lot more forgiving than the LMGs. Honestly, if you just pull down, you're good to go. Like, you don't need to worry. And everyone's just going to have a hard time. Because it's really versatile. All ranges, decent damage, decent mag. You can't go wrong with it. Most versatile weapon in the game. Arguably the best weapon in the game. Now, I actually would argue that the second best choice is the FCAR. Now, a lot of people complain that the magazine size on this is too low. And that is definitely true. However, this weapon has really nice optics, which to me just makes visibility so much easier to actually hit more shots. So, yeah, you got to be careful. You're not going to one-clip with this all the time unless you're really careful with your ammo. But that red dot optic, just for me personally, gives me the visibility to make sure that I can, like, hit headshots. And if you get a few headshots, the ammo count is not really a problem anymore. It's just so easy to tell, and it's so good handling. Right, let's go to this range here. Let's see this target all the way down here, right? Like, even at that distance, you're able to one-clip people with some practice. It's really not hard. Obviously, a little bit further is a bit harder. But yeah, very easy weapon to use. So for me, that extra visibility makes up for the lack of ammo. And I think that sometimes I'd rather take the FCAR, especially on maps with, like, longer distances or low visibility. I would prefer the FCAR. I feel like I'm actually one-clipping people more consistently than the AK because I can just see what I'm shooting at, which honestly makes such a big difference. Alright, so that's the medium. Obviously, like I said earlier, medium is a bit more of a complicated story. A lot of these weapons are still pretty good. Then we go to the light, and I think here it gets even crazier. I think the dagger, sword, and throwing knives, honestly, in ranked, you're going to have a hard time with them. You can have fun with them and you can do well. And if you've got incredible aim, maybe you could pull something off with a throwing knives. But I think they are far too niche and hard to make work. The M11, in my opinion, the damage profile is just not as great as the other weapons I want to talk about. So I'm not really going to talk about this one. I feel like it just takes too many bullets to eliminate a player with this. So personally, I would get off this as soon as possible. Like, it's not a bad choice, but the damage profile is just too bad. So that leaves you with two options if you want to go for, like, sort of close range to mid-range options. You either have the V9S or the XP54. The V9S is, in my opinion, the best choice if you can deal with, like, the visibility you get with it, right? It has faster reloads. It has got a nerf. It only has 20 bullets instead of 24 now. But it has really good damage profile. And you're going to find that it's really easy to control. Even with the new recoil as well, it's basically non-existent, to be honest. It's just a really versatile, fast-paced, quick, close-range option. So if you're able to get up in people's faces and use movement to play around cover, you've got evasive dash or whatever, then you're going to have a really good time with this. You may struggle a little bit when it comes to longer range. And in a lot of times, like if you're playing the best you can, I think this weapon is the best. That's how I feel, right? That is how I feel. However, I think the XP54 is sort of like the AK of the light build. It's more versatile. You get longer range with it, but up close, it's really good as well. Look at this, right? It's so easy to use up close, even in hip fire. And I'll show you on the range in a minute. It's really good long range as well. But a decent sized mag. A lot of damage output. really easy to use, and so much versatility, which makes it really easy to get like a lot of damage off on basically any target. You can shoot people across the map with this because it's got an ACOG on it, right? And it does work. The damage is not great compared to like an AK long range, but it works, you know? And with some practice, you're going to be beaming people. So let's go back to here and talk about these weapons again. I would say these are the two best options considering their power. Sorry, the V9S and the XP54. Their power at sort of the engagement distances you would probably be involved in with light. However, I do have to point out this shotgun can ruin people's day, especially if you pair it with cloak. You can do really well with this and just absolutely eliminate squads with good cloak and good shotgun usage. Absolutely. I also think the sniper can be good if you are ready to kind of take a more long-range role. It's hard to make work, to be honest, because, I mean, when you get up close, it's kind of scary. But I've seen some really good sniper players, and they've caused me a lot of damage. Not gonna lie. The LH1 is also a really underrated weapon. It kind of got some balancing. It now does less damage per shot, but fast... No, more damage per shot, but less less fire rate. I don't know how that means in terms of time to kill, but this weapon used to be insanely good time to kill. And the crazy thing is, it's kind of good up close. It looks like something you'd use long range, but it is actually good up close. I would probably not hit fire with this too much. It can work, but it's not great. But even at long range, you have this sort of like really nice iron sights, in my opinion, to get some long range shots that otherwise you wouldn't be able to do. So I don't know, it's really hard to kind of point out the best weapons for light because there's so many great choices. But I will put it like this. I think in most situations, the V9S and XP54 are going to get you through the game without feeling like your weapon is missing something. They've got the most versatility, although the V9S lacks at range unless you got, you know, some decent practice with it. Shotgun here, obviously super amazing close range, really great paired with cloak. The SR84, in my opinion, can work well, probably if you've got a grapple, because you can get height on people and cause a lot of pain. If you can set up, right, you got your cash box down and you set up somewhere on high, like on one of the cranes, for example, you can ruin people's days with this, absolutely. M11, not so much. So that's pretty much a look at all those weapons. And the LH1 is really underrated as well. It's so hard to choose, but if you want like a sort of fast-paced run and gun type play, I'll go V9S XP54. If you want a weapon that's just going to give you a lot of stopping power at all ranges, except really close, LH1. And then you have these more versatile, sort of really niche options, shotgun and sniper, which are both really good. But yeah, I'll just reiterate, I think V9S and XP54 are the best choices for sort of all styles of gameplay, whereas you've got more niche choices with these. So yeah, that's all the weapons for light, medium, and heavy, my best choices, and explaining every weapon in the game, essentially. Hope that was useful, let me know. And hopefully you'll subscribe to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!